can definitely identify with the reading today. One thing that you guys always hear me talking about is mindset and winning the battle up here. It talked about slipping off into immoderation and how much of a slippery slope that actually is. And there's a saying in like AA and NA, and it is 1 is too many and 1,000 is never enough. And as a former drug addict, you have to be constantly vigilant over your thoughts and where they are taking you. You can't be romanticizing about the old days. You can't entertain any thoughts that would potentially move you in that direction. Like, they have to be snuffed out right there. As soon as you have one, boom, it's out. If you're going to conquer anything in the physical, you have to first do it up here. But the thing is, that is translated into all of the other areas in my life, in the things that I am trying to conquer. Weight loss, finances, the way you think about yourself. Most people don't realize that whenever you are on a diet, it is a total mental game, just as if it was drugs. If I start thinking about food that I shouldn't, if I start thinking about breaking my diet, boom, it's done right there. Because if I cut it off right there, then nothing is ever going to happen. First it goes thoughts, then your feelings, and then your actions. They have the saying that what a man spends all day thinking about is what he will become. So whenever you are going after something in your life, or you are trying to eradicate something, there can be no compromise. There can be no deviation. You have to stick to it, but it has to be one up here. And if you think about compromise, if you're going after this thing right here and you deviate, it no longer is that thing that you were going after. Compromise is the fastest way to lose that which you fucking want. And also with drug addiction and not sticking to your diet, there's what's called buds, build up to drink. And what ends up happening is you end up giving into a thought that leads to another thought and another and another and another. And then like 2 weeks later, you've talked yourself into why it's okay to drink again or use drugs. But this goes with all of the other areas in your life too that you're trying to eradicate. The diet. You'll sit there and romanticize about it if you don't fucking stop it. And eventually you will talk yourself into why doing something bad for yourself is actually okay. This is actually called sin. Now I don't want to get like biblical, and sin just means missing the mark. It means getting away from living the truth in your life. And this also goes for the things that you're trying to chase down in your life as well too. The things that you actually want to accomplish. Because you have to support where you are heading. If you're going after a certain thing and you have self-talk that is saying you can't do it, you suck, no one likes you, you're not going to get there. You have to change the narrative in your mind. You have to take control of your mind and start saying, well, if I'm going to get here, I have to think this certain way here and I can't deviate from that. So whenever you're feeling hungry, instead of saying, oh man, I'm hungry, dude, I'm starving, what's going on here? You say, this is what fat loss feels like. This is getting me closer every single day that I go through this. You have to start changing the narrative in your mind to support where you're going. And now you are building a constructive mindset instead of a destructive one that is tearing down where you're going. You cannot have contrary self-talk, thoughts, ideas, and action towards the thing that you want and still get that outcome. It is impossible. It is a mental game and it all starts up here. You must take control of this. This is why my coaching program emphasizes so heavily on mindset, because once you grasp that aspect about life and about yourself, once it truly clicks, you will be able to put your mind on anything and fucking accomplish it, dude. Do you know the only thing that stands in between you and everything that you want is the story that you have been telling yourself in your head? I look all the time at people around my age, 35 years old, and for some reason they have bought into the lie that their bodies should be going downhill now, that they're getting older, that they can't do the things that they once did. Think about it. You have more accumulated resources than you ever have. You have more people skills. You have more friends. You have more knowledge. You are literally better than you have ever been right now. But the story that you are telling yourself has blocked you from actually seeing that fact. Why is it that sometimes you see those guys in society, they seem to have it all? The finances, the house, the family, like they're in good shape and they're in their 50s. It's because they've adopted the mindset they are actually getting better with time. You're reading books, you're figuring out what foods work with your body the best, and then you eliminate the ones that don't. You quite literally should be getting better with time. At 35 years old, like, you should feel like your life is still just kind of starting and taking off and gaining and building momentum. Stop throwing in the towel. If you're 35 years old, you still have technically at least half of your life to live. If you live till you was 100, you still have 2 times what you've already lived. But if you adopt a mindset that you're going backwards, you are going to live a very harsh existence for this other portion. You know, I heard a good quote this reminds me of. The cost of education is nothing compared to the price of ignorance. If you say, I've damaged my body from all the bad shit that I've done in my life, trust me, nobody has treated their body worse in the past than me. I was a fucking heroin addict, dude. I've had multiple back surgeries. I popped so many pills and drank so much alcohol, I'm surprised I have a fucking liver left, dude. But all that shit re-heals itself, man. If you just give it the time. Replace that old negative shit with a winning belief system that you can do anything. This is what my training and coaching program does. It teaches you to take control of the resources that you have been given. And once you're in full control of you, you can do anything, dude. I'm going to tell you a quick story about the retirement age and why it actually became a thing. And it's not the reason that you think it is. But in Germany, Otto von Bismarck looked around at all of his political rivals and realized that people over about the age of 70 had the most resources, had the most connections, had the most wisdom, bro. The most potent form of themselves that they could possibly be. And what did he do? To get rid of his political rivals, he signed the retirement age of like 65 or 70. And with the stroke of a pen, wiped out his political rivals. And then, systematically, it ended up happening through all the other countries. So most people have this idea in their head that whenever you're getting to retirement age, you're washed up. But actually, you are more capable than you have ever been at that point in your life. And for some reason, you have bought into the lie that life is over and it's going downhill. Well, whenever you are locked in a body that is out of shape and you're eating bad foods, you're not exercising, you're putting negative content into your mind. Whenever you feel like shit, you're going to think like shit. This is why my coaching program focuses so heavily on getting your body and your mind back. Because once we do that, then we take control of your mind and ultimately we take control of your life. Stop believing the negative lies that are in here. We're like a piece of machinery. We've got to oil it, we've got to do regular maintenance on it, and if we do that, then this vessel can last for a very, very long time. DM me, get into my coaching program, and let's get to work.